For as long as people have walked this earth, we have danced. The attraction to the beat of the drum and the effect it has on our minds, bodies, and spirits is undeniable. Regardless of the culture, dance, as performed by both men and women, has always been a key component of dining, rituals, and celebrations. Throughout the centuries, the style, tone, and prominence of dance have changed. This often occurred when cultures blended or fought, when social reforms advanced or retreated, and when religion garnered or yielded political influence. Today, the thrill of dance is expressed without obstruction and can be enjoyed in a variety of styles, ranging from classical form through to total freestyle. There is, however, one exception to this social embrace of rhythmic expression, and the scorn and social backlash toward it is generated by misinformation that serves only to justify a myopic vision of morality. Participants in pole fitness defy gravity as they climb and swing their bodies while performing calisthenic-type moves referred to as tricks. These tricks are executed as high as 24 feet off the ground while using nothing but a pole and their physical prowess. Pole fitness enthusiasts are fit and flexible, and the women and men who practice this art are quick to note how empowered they feel when performing this sometimes provocative physical activity.
So on my physical fitness scale, I would give this a 20 out of 10 since the day that I have been coming here. My arms, my shoulders, my core muscles, I've never been in this shape, and I used to go to the gym every day.
Pole fitness is the hardest workout I've ever done compared to machines, soccer, volleyball. I wrestled. It's the hardest one I've ever done.
Physically, I think that this is perhaps the toughest thing I've ever done. And people are surprised to hear me say that because I've done aerial circus work, I've run 22 half marathons, I do all kinds of sports, but this really is probably the best workout.
I took one class and I wasn't really knowing if I liked it very much, and then there was a male instructor. He ended up coming to my second class, and because he knew I was kind of thinking I wasn't taking this seriously, and he showed me some tricks. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to hold my body out straight. I want to climb to the top of the pole and hang by my leg and my armpit, my elbow. And so it just went from there. And now I'm competing, I'm performing. My strength has improved. I've gained about 45 pounds of muscle. I love it.
Many conservatives and those of the religious right in North America have chosen to completely ignore the health and confidence enforcing sides of this extremely demanding form of physical fitness training. Instead, they hold firmly to the belief that the mere use of a metal pole for the purpose of generating self-confidence or pride represents a level of sleaze and sexual depravity that is demeaning to women in our society. They believe that because exotic dancers and adult entertainment clubs often use a pole in the performance of their acts, all uses of such hardware is unacceptable.
This is fitness classes. So the people that come here are actually taking a fitness class, fully clothed. They pay to come to class. People view this as something they do for themselves, women and men, to feel strong, just like you would go to the gym. Is it that the girls at the gym that are lifting weights that want to look good, how are they related to the sex industry then? Because that's what we're doing here. How is anyone that's taking a ballet class that's dancing, or a hip hop class twerking in the studio next door to me, how are they related to the sex industry? They're not, and neither are we.
In September of 2016, a public outcry arose when the executive of the London Abused Women's Centre suddenly and very publicly pulled out of the annual Take Back the Night Walk after organizers invited a local pole fitness club to perform a demonstration of their training techniques. These government-supported advocates for women's rights then withdrew their support for the well-known promotion of female empowerment and safety by making this morally focused political statement.
Hosting a pole fitness demonstration at a Take Back the Night is antithetical to its purpose.
The LAWC was forced to publicly acknowledge that the purpose of the demonstration was to reflect a body-positive and empowering point of view. However, they then supported their position with questionable logic that was concocted from half-truths and misinformation. We contacted the executive of the LAWC and attempted to set up an on-camera interview with Heather Warham, their program manager. At first, Ms. Warham was open to speaking with us, but then she canceled without providing any reason. We then offered to conduct an interview via Skype or the phone, which would grant her the ability to end the conversation whenever she wished. She first agreed to that compromise, but then canceled it, again without providing any reason. Both the cat and mouse tactics and Ms. Worm's eventual refusal to support the position of the LAWC were hard to explain, especially as she repeatedly refused to provide any reason. We had provided our credentials and a link to examples of our other documentary work. We had also advised her that our producer was closely associated with the Women and Children's Shelter of Barrio, for whom we have donated several video projects. In sharp contrast, supporters of the pole fitness movement showed no need to hide from our questions. Support was also obvious from the Barrio Women and Children's Shelter, which acts as the counterpart to the LAWC in Simcoe County. In 2016, their executive publicly embraced at least one local pole fitness center without incident when they welcomed the club as sponsors at a public fundraising event. Emily Kelman is co-owner and a senior instructor at the Pole House in London, which is the club that was scheduled to present the pole fitness demonstration.
Last September, during Take Back the Night, we were approached by someone on the women's committee asking if we wanted to participate in the event. When that was brought up to the rest of the members of the committee, somebody from the London Abused Women's Shelter disagreed with it and asked us not to come. When I first heard that we were no longer invited, it did not surprise me because pole dancing has a stigma associated with it. But I did mention to members forum on Facebook, You Know You're a Poler When, and I shared our story with them, and the pole dancers in that community weren't very happy about that, and they helped defend us. I disagreed with their decision. I don't feel like pole dancing should be something that should be shamed. I feel like a lot of women start pole dancing because they want to embrace their sexuality, they want to gain confidence, they want to build strength and flexibility, they want to tone their body. There's so many other benefits to pole dancing that don't involve sexuality.
Contrary to claims made by the LAWC, the use of a pole in fitness and dance goes back centuries in at least 3 cultures, including India, China, and parts of Africa. In those countries, men and women perform a variety of gravity-defying stunts using a vertical pole made of wood or metal, around which they pivot. A rope is also often used. The maypole was also a common feature of Celtic and Anglo-Saxon cultures, going as far back as 1200 AD. For many centuries, the young would dance around a tall wooden pole with ribbons to celebrate pending marriage and fertility. For more than 50 years, stripping failed to maintain a consistent level of public interest. It started in North America as part of the burlesque shows of the 20s, where women teased men in ways that now seem absurd. The pole was not in truth used in the adult entertainment industry until 1968, when dancer Belle Jangles introduced it to her act at a strip club in Oregon. At that time, dancers like Gypsy Rose Lee teased their audience with suggestions rather than overt exposure. The addition of the pole proved popular, and its use spread across the US and Canada. Today, the pole is an integral component of the stage and show. It has long been accepted that women and men who perform gymnastics or who undertake standard physical training regimens can and do wear less and show more when working to improve their physical health. It is also a fact that people who work out using a pole gyrate and move no more provocatively than somebody working on rings or exercising in some other socially acceptable way. The pole is simply a stage on which the dancer performs.
So what you see in class is someone will try to attempt a certain move and maybe not have the strength to do that move for a couple of classes and a couple more classes, but then all of a sudden when they get the move, they're just elated, and literally we all clap, we high five. They feel empowered, they feel like they've accomplished something, they feel confident, it builds their self-esteem.
For reasons unknown, pole performers in Europe and Australia are said to have an easier time of being accepted by mainstream society than their counterparts in North America, where pole fitness was created. This bias is clearly culturally based and not supported by facts. Only the truth and time will educate the public to change the image of this amazing merger of flexibility, strength, grace, and beauty of motion.
So recently, this meme was placed on Facebook by a women's center who is supposed to be an organization basically and essentially designed to support women. Instead, they chose to withdraw from Take Back the Night Walk in London, claiming that a pole fitness studio owned by my friend Emily was taking part, raising money and actually contributing to the walk. They deem anyone that does pole fitness as actions taken to normalize men's violence against women. So in other words, anyone that takes a pole fitness class is normalizing or inviting violence against or to themselves. You could say that about a Sports Illustrated magazine. You could say that about any type of modeling picture, any dance school. I watched the Olympics. The beach volleyball girls were literally diving in the sand in a low-rise thong, slow motion while their butt jiggled. They're strong, powerful, athletic women who can wear what they want when they want, and it shouldn't be blamed or we shouldn't feel shamed to do what we're doing.